If you were to think of a very well preserved old Roman fort, you wouldn't think that it's in the UK. At least I wouldn't have believed you if you had told me. Welcome to Hardknott Fort, ladies and gentlemen. Mostly being so well preserved because we are in the middle of nowhere. We are up in the Lake District, one of the wettest places in England. Touch wood, right now we are okay and we have no rain. But man, it was a journey to get here. You go through the Hardknott Pass, and as you come over the hill, a crest, you see this massive fort. Now, if you've followed the channel so far, you know that the Romans came to Britain, or Britannia as they called it, in 43 AD. Emperor Claudius led a full-scale invasion of this country. And then as time progressed, they pushed up and up into Scotland. Look at this, cuz. And for a very short period of time, most of the UK called Rome their emperor. And it wasn't until some crazy resistance came from the Scottish Highlands that they pulled back. And during this time, around 120 AD, the emperor was Hadrian. And he was more focused on preservation and setting up and protecting what they already had conquered. So they retreated a bit from Scotland. They set up a wall called Hadrian's Wall, who would have guessed, which we will see in the next video. It's actually the longest Roman wall in the world. And they had some key supply routes coming from the ocean, from Ravenglass, and from the ocean they would come straight through this mountain, which is the Hardknott Pass. We all know Roman roads are very straight and direct. Rather than going around the coast, they just cut straight through the mountains. So around 120 AD, Emperor Hadrian ordered the construction of Hardknott Fort, being in the middle of nowhere, but basically guarding their supply route to feed their soldiers on the northern frontier, because that was Hadrian's Wall is the most northern point that the Roman Empire ever stretched. So we're going to try and do a little bit of stealth camping here, and let's explore this fort together. There's some cool things we can find, a few rooms I want to try and find and point out. So we'll learn about it, and I'll tell you more about this fort and the history of it. The most isolated fort in Britain. The drone is so awesome for an overview, right? Like you can see a lot of Roman forts were rectangular. This one, it looks pretty cool from the air, doesn't it?
Well, you can see like the whole foundations. It's really cool.
Yeah, it's very square too, compared to most that were, like I said, rectangular. A lot of these forts, and you'll see more, most likely if we can find some along Hadrian's Wall, just north of here, they were built to have like 500 to 1,000 men. Supposedly Hardknott Fort was built for 500 men. That's quite a few. There's a few things going on this fort, like they terraformed a lot of it, which is pretty damn impressive considering how crazy this landscape is. We'll go for a wander up there later and we can find the parading ground. We owe its preservation to the fact that it's the most secluded fort there is. With a lot of other forts around this country and across the world, when different kingdoms came into power, especially once the Romans left here, they left around 400-ish AD, I believe. New kingdoms would just reuse the stone because they have all the stone lying here, so kings would just order the deconstruction of it to use it in their own castle or their own defenses, you know. But purely the fact that this is in the middle of nowhere no one ever really bothered pulling it down. What a crazy view.
This is a very good spot.
It is absolutely beautiful. It might not look it for you guys in the videos, especially with the drone shots. It probably looks quite flat, but it is decently up and down.
There's probably this top corner. I'd say it's probably
It's at least like 15
meters elevation.
Yeah, from down
the
there.
left to the bottom right.
100%.
And then the bathhouse is even lower.
Yeah. You know why the bathhouses were kept so far away?
Because they smell bad?
Close. They had a because they had a fire in there to warm everything up and have a sauna. If anything caught on fire, they didn't want it near the main barracks.
Very good idea.
Yeah, they obviously learnt that through trial and error. The whole bloody fort's on fire, boys. The bathhouses are over there. We'll show you in a little bit. There's a bit of debate with this fort. Some people say that it was here to control local populations and obviously get tax from them, but there wouldn't have really been many people here. So some people say it was for fighting and setting up a stronghold and showing how, you know, big and tough the Romans were, to kind of deter the local tribes from trying to take over. But other sources say there was really nothing here. There was just small local farming villages and stuff like that. So supposedly another key thing with forts like this all across the Roman Empire, everywhere, this is the most northern part that the empire ever expanded to, they would never employ local people from the local area, because that would give them possibly like a benefit to look after the local population more, or to give them grain, or, you know, not tax them as much. So a lot of the soldiers here were from like the Balkans and places like Croatia. So imagine coming from there to here, the wettest place in England, and this was only in occupation for about 30 years, 25 to 30 years, from like 120 AD to the late 140s, 150-ish. So some people spent their whole military life here, which is pretty crazy, man. There's a lot of debate about whether or not the Romans pulled back because of the Scottish resistance. It's kind of just up to you and what you want to believe, because they also had so much going on in all other corners of their empire that they had to pull legions, some of their best legions had to pull back to protect Rome. So it's not like they had their best troops here. If they did, I would say they definitely could have taken over Scotland. But also, that is not to dethrone the Scottish warriors, or, for those of you who are going to correct me in the comments, the Caledonians, I believe they're called. I'm just going to say the Scottish, because then younger people understand what I'm talking about and where they were. But I do know that they were Caledonians. I believe they came from Ireland. The Scottish people supposedly came from Ireland.
Celts.
Yeah, the Celts.
And same in Wales, Celtic.
Celtics.
Did you know in the UK there is some people that are suggesting a Celtic union?
Really?
And independence, so England being separate to Wales, Ireland, Northern Ireland, Isle of Man, Cornwall, and Scotland.
Yeah, right.
So like everything except basically just like, look guys, we fucking hate England.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I got a question for the Lee Nation.
Yeah.
What was the best empire ever? Was it the Romans? All time, what is the goated all-time empire?
The go-to all-time empire.
Drop it in the comments below, guys.
Yeah, what do you think is the best? I would lean towards like...
I'm strongly on the Celtic empire.
Yeah.
Celtic, the newly yet to be made one.
Obviously the most recent, the crown has to go to the British. The British Empire were the most recent goated empire. Whether or not you like what they did, you can't deny that they conquered.
You're gonna have so many angry Indians in your comments now.
Nah, they understand it. They understand it. It's just like, you know, it's just how it is. The stronger side comes and conquers. There's always going to be things that go wrong. It's just what happens when places get conquered. But also Genghis Khan, not the Mongols, sorry, Who were they?
Yeah.
Mongols.
Yeah.
I always think, I get Mongols, which that was Genghis Khan. I get them confused with the Mughals. The Mughals were in India. They were the wealthiest at the time in that world. That's the empire that the British basically conquered. The emperor before Hadrian, completely forget his name. I will put the correction here. Trajan or Trajan. That's going to be totally wrong. Anyway, he went pretty crazy with the expansion, which sort of took... That's basically kind of why the Roman Empire ended up coming down a bit. They just went crazy with expansion, right? This is definitely the parade ground. Look how flat this is. And yeah, the emperor before, Hadrian, he's the one that pushed all the way up north. And then that's when Hadrian came into power, and the sort of different mindset is what led to forts and the Hadrian's Wall getting built. Because one emperor just wanted to keep pushing. The next, Hadrian, wanted to try and maintain parade ground.
Here's something else about the Romans. They invented a lot of things. Tell you what they didn't invent. Spirit level. It's not flat. Lazy. You go to all the effort of doing that, and then, oh, come on lads, let's go up to parade ground.
Why do they sound Scottish?
Oh, fucking that'll do, mate.
That'll do.
That was such a ball ache to do that. I'm not doing this as well.
They would have given up though, because like, imagine how much effort.
Send a telegram to Hadrian and tell him we've got his sorted, because he's not going to come up and check, is he? I'm going down bathhouse, my feet stink.
This is pretty flat. Like, they did well.
There you go, tradie certified.
This is tradie certified, you guys know. 7 years in the trade. You look at this, squint your eyes hard enough. Yeah, that's it, boys.
Okay,
Pack her up.
Let's do a historical reenactment. I'll be a ye olde Romany soldiery.
No, you can be a peasant.
Alright. And then, so I've done, you know, what am I getting my quarterly pay?
Yeah, so this is...
So it's the end of financial Q3.
Yeah, and yeah, the Romans, I think, got paid 4 times a year. And when they got paid, it was a big ceremony. So, the guy who was in charge of Hardknott Fort and the basically the finance house, he'd be up here basically on the rock. Everyone's here, 500 men, come down. Oogly boogly.
Thank you very much, sir. Can I go back to Croatia yet?
Grazie. Grazie. Yeah, see you, mate. Massive ceremonies. They'd all get their armor out, polish everything up to a T. And supposedly, from what I've read, that was the ceremony. And then the king, or the guy in charge of this fort, would pay them after the ceremony. Sam and I are going to walk down to the bathhouse. And while we're walking down there getting trench foot together, trench foot, I'll take you back in time and show you the roads, because the roads are too good to not show. See you back in the Porsche. These are the crazy tight roads I wanted to show you. This is on the other side of the fort, because we accidentally took the maps the wrong way and we're coming up the back side of the fort. But it's absolutely beautiful. But the roads are crazy here. If you get caught with someone, you got to back up quite a long way. But we're still 30 minutes away. We got a long time on these roads. But look at this, man. What a spot. There you go, mate. There's a massive rock right there. The main thing is I don't want to hit that rock. Hectic. I was this close to that rock. Very lucky. What a crazy drive. This is wild, bro. That was crazy.
That actually is that much.
Yeah. That was actually crazy. That was genuinely difficult, man. I'm not sure if the GoPro does it justice, but it was like that. And then the corners, and like one wheel would come off the ground because of how steep it was going around the corner.
Crazy.
How would you rate that out of 10? It wasn't enjoyable. It was a bit kind of like stressful.
I think now, yeah, it's like what you don't. I can't see over my bonnet. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's like driving a boat. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's very long. So like, the thing is, it's very steep and very twisty. So, I don't know what it's like for you, but for me, when I come up those, I can't tell if I need to turn left or right.
Yeah, because you
So I
can't
have
see.
to look at my sat nav to know which way I'm going and how like fast to turn.
And what did you tell me? You said some of those steep parts you could see under my car.
Oh, when you went up the first bit was
Yeah.
very steep.
Yeah.
And I could see underneath the car.
Yeah.
And through the other side. Crazy.
They've done well, bro, though. They've done well.
Well, what I was thinking is, what isn't, so I'm used to driving my other two cars. I had a 1.2 litre Vauxhall Corsa. That wouldn't have had enough go to get up here.
And the Rolls Royce.
And then the Rolls Royce, don't tell me about the Phantom. But I had a 2.2 litre Jaguar, and that would have been, that's just too big, and it's auto.
That would have been
So it would have been like sketchy to get up. So it's like, actually, they're not the worst car to have, you know,
I reckon
for the job, you know, because I feel fully comfortable that when it's steep, it will just go. I did spin a bit. Oh fuck! Oh, I thought this. I'm a bit paranoid about my tyres splitting.
Nah,
they're
it's okay.
going, but
It's all right.
no, that was just water. Don't worry.
You've done well.
I'm gonna get the drone up so you can have a look. Ski.
I'm not sure who's got more clearance between me and you. I think you have more clearance.
I think you've got more clearance.
You reckon I got more clearance?
Uh,
I've just got nicer looking wheels, which I don't want. I'm trying not to scrape these.
I think I do have more clearance.
My goal is to not touch these rims at all on any rocks because they have no marks on them. This is some road, man. My goodness. Definitely the craziest we've driven so far on this journey. Oh, I don't know if you can tell, like, if it really shows how steep it is to you guys. See, like that, you can't even see over. Look at the size of that, that pothole. See that? Like, we cannot see over. That's hilarious. Look at the view though. So we're coming up to the fort. The fort is not too far away. We made it. Back to the future now. I'll see you back at the fort. Woo! Welcome back to the fort. Cool roads, huh?
So
if you didn't get the memo, it's the bathhouse.
And that was a sauna.
So progressively, they just would have worked their way through each room.
Yeah, probably would have just had, this is where they would have been heated probably.
Yeah.
And then this would have been the deepest one at the bottom. And the rest they would have just had the water.
People who leave rubbish.
If you're going to leave it, it's actually worse to put it in a plastic bag because now
Yeah.
it's decompose.
Yeah, if you're gonna leave dog crap, like just
get it and fling it into the bush.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna go and walk across.
Don't put it in a plastic bag and leave the plastic bag there. Look at that. That's the sauna, yeah? Yeah, it definitely would be the sauna. That's cool as. And it's not a bad spot to camp. And we can pick up ancient diseases from the soaked into the grass from the Romans. Ancient trench foot. You can see the pass. There's a big tractor going up. This is the sauna. I love a sauna. Absolutely love using a sauna. This is a little bit of a hike, not too far, but a decent little hike from where they would have been positioned. So imagine on a cold winter's night, you come out of here, super warm, and then you got to do the freezing walk back to your rooms. Does it snow here?
Probably not tonight.
No, but does it snow in Lake District?
I guess so.
Because it does snow in a few places around England, but...
It snows everywhere in England.
It does it. Snows everywhere in England. Oh, there we go. I didn't know that.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
Is the sauna still hot?
The sauna's actually warm. No joke. The sun came out though, so... But there's no wind here, so there's less chill factor. How cool, huh? Very cool indeed. What a view. What a view. Looks like a painting, right? A reminder for you guys, all these videos of mine are in 4K. So if you have the luxury of watching it on a TV, press the little settings cog. It's shaped like a motorbike cog. Press that, click on quality, and you can go higher picture quality. Because sometimes YouTube bumps it down to very, very bad quality, but this is all crisp. Should be crystal clear for you. We're gonna get out our little stoves and do some cooking. Getting hungry. Sam's choice of beer, not mine. Put them in here and they get cold. Or they just get leeches inside it. It's actually not that cold, that water, at all. Tonight I have steak. First time trying steak on this stove, so nothing incredible looking, but steak. That got hot so quick. That's all I have. Once the Emperor Hadrian was replaced by the Emperor Antonine, I believe his name was, he then pushed more up north, and there's actually another wall further up from Hadrian's wall, you guessed it, called the Antonine Wall. And forts like this, which was only like 30 years-ish after it was built, weren't really that used anymore because most of the troops had been moved further up north with the campaigns that Emperor Antonine was doing. But then they ended up falling back anyway because they couldn't maintain that wall, and then they used Hadrian's wall and sort of rebuilt it up a little bit more than what it was.
I think I'm only going to need about half an onion.
I'm not just having the steak on its own. Steak.
So I'm not slicing garlic. What I'm going to try and do...
If you told me that I was adding my steak to my pasta when I was back in Australia, I probably would have punched myself. But I just want to have one big meal. I don't feel like eating a few things separately. Now, if you know me well, you know that I love jalapenos. And I finally found jalapenos at the supermarket. Pickled jalapenos, I love them. Not bad, if I say so myself. Cheers if you're having a beer with me. If you're Muslim, that's haram. Do not do that. But I want to enjoy this Corona. Cheers, guys. That is cool. First time I can say I've had a beer in a Roman fort all alone. There is no one in here. Sam is down there in the bathhouse. I'm up here just enjoying this view and the Ronski. So that's Hardknott Fort. There's not much more to tell you. I think we covered everything. As this series progresses, we'll be going to Hadrian's Wall, where we can continue the story. I love jalapenos. Do you like jalapenos? Some people, you either love them or you hate them. You guys won't be able to see it because it's all overexposed, but that pocket there that is glowing, that's the ocean. So you understand the significance of Roman straight roads. That was their port. That's the ocean port where they would unload everything. They built this, like we said, to protect and guard and watch over the road. So literally from there, boom, straight through the mountain gap and over, and then all the way up to the north. I didn't actually know that you could see the ocean from here. You see it perfectly. It's that glowing bit. That's very cool. Look at the cinematics right now. That's Scafell Pike.
Yeah.
The tallest mountain in England. Right next to Hardknott Fort.
Perfect place for doom scrolling.
Look at this, man. This is absolutely wild. It just gets more pretty and more pretty, and there's not a soul here. It's just us.
That mountain is really amazing looking, isn't it?
It looks gorgeous, isn't it? Like the contrast in the with the stone. That doesn't look real. This looks like a video game.
Especially when you have especially have that POV with your hands in it.
Yeah. If I had
crazy.
two hands, it would look cool. It'd be like.
Hold it, look.
That looks like some sort of like World of Warcraft final boss scene fight.
I feel I should probably do it as well then if you're going to do it.
What a beautiful backdrop. Left.
Beautiful backdrop.
I'm happy to sleep on a little uphill.
Here more a view straight out onto Scafell Pike as well.
True.
Over the yeah, the slate mill was super cool like design.
Yeah. Don't worry, these pegs aren't going into mosaic floors, alright? There's 2,000 years of dead ferns and grass and probably goat shit. Yeah, we take rubbish too. You might be wondering why we've gone in a weird position. Straight behind you, let me show you. Straight behind you, that's a road. You come up over the ridge and down. That's a road that we drove. Which means that if people really want to be sneaky, they can literally park at the top of the hill, shine their car lights straight down into here, and then see reflectors. And Sam has, so do I. We have 3 reflectors on the long sides of our tent, but there's only 1 on the back. So I went long ways. And my tent's actually shielding 2 of Sam's reflectors.
We should get some black.
Could be okay. Yeah, and actually cover them up.
Yeah.
Because those reflectors work really well. I've seen them at night. But look at that. What a spot. What a spot. What a privilege to camp here, man.
Yeah, exactly.
We did get approval from the owner of this.
We did.
It was Sir Hardknott himself. If you want to use an eSIM, and if you want to support me by supporting the companies that help me, you can download eSIMatic. It's very easy. They have an app, and you can choose for whatever destination you're going. Choose a package, 5 GB, 10 GB, 20, 50. They have a lot of options. Click it, download it. It takes a few minutes, and it's downloaded to your phone. You can do it the night before you leave to a destination. No more needing for those little SIM cards. And you can use code HECTIC, 5% off. Thanks for watching, guys. That is the Hardknott Fort, the most secluded, most remote Roman fort in the middle of nowhere. I hope you understand why and its significance. I hope I explained it okay.
You did explain it very well.
You reckon?
Yeah. And if you want more wild camping exploration videos, then follow Sam Whiting.
Yeah, check out Sam's channel. He's like
I do the overnight sections. He's day shift, I'm night shift.
He's like the chef, right? So he's all for the teaching gay couples how to cook. He's very good at that. Peace out, guys.